Hey everybody, I'm Frank Padgett and I'm 57 years old. And just a little background on me, I'm in a multimedia slash education space, and I have my daughter with me.
Hi, I'm Ashley Padgett. I'm 31. I'm also in the multimedia space, focusing more on education. By trade, I'm a graphic designer, but I do a lot more than just graphic design.
So we came up with a series title that we're going to do and we'll bring to you called Conversations with My Daughter. I'm a father, just having a conversation with his adult daughter about life and relationships and faith and growing well. So that's the reason why we're coming to you, and hopefully you find some value in it. And the one thing that we do believe in just helping other people. So if this can help anybody, wherever it may land, we hope that it can add value to you. And the topic that we're going to be talking about today is when life doesn't match the timeline you had in mind.
So, what were we talking about before the camera started rolling?
You know, that's a good question. I mean, we're always talking about something.
We are.
But I will say this. What we were talking about, we were just talking about just life, issues in life and stuff. And the topic, you know, just today, when life doesn't match the timeline that you had in mind, I got a lot of stories for that one. And I know you do too. I know you do too. But other people have stories as well. So, you know, the one thing, you know me, everything in life is about timing, but not your timing. It's about God's timing.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing. There are things that I was praying about years ago, and I was asking God to give me direction for my life and, you know, what should be my next move. And God started to deal with me on certain things, you know, just regarding my life. And I will say, everything that He shared with me back at that time, those things have come to pass, or they are coming to pass. Now, I did not know, I had no idea that some of these things would take maybe 25 years to come to pass. That's a hard one, because we think we live, you know, in the society today, everything is instant gratification. You know, we want it, delayed gratification is kicked out the window.
Yeah.
So, but I know you got some stories too.
Yeah, I got a lot of stories. The one thing I struggle with this so much. I want the things that I want on my time. And when it's God's time, like I've had stuff that I've been praying for 10 years ago that still hasn't come to pass. I'm like, okay, so yeah, I don't really know what to do in the waiting period.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I'm sitting here not really doing anything, but I'm also doing everything that I can.
Right.
And then I'm going to God like, okay, God, so what do I do next? What do I do next? And then He's just like, wait. And I'm like, but I don't know.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one. That's a hard one there. And to your point, Ash, you know, there's these expectations that we actually build up.
Yeah.
But then there's a reality.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, even when we're praying about different things and asking God different things, He gives us glimpses of things. You know, so if you look at, for example, a puzzle, and God says, okay, He'll show you a piece of the puzzle. But the finished product of what that puzzle looks like, you don't get that. You get like a piece here, a piece there. And because you got that little bit, now you're trying to put flesh on and say, well, it looks like this, and this should be the timing. And usually the timing is way off. Way off.
You mess it up so bad, and then you got to start all over. And I'm just like, well, dang. Because now I got to wait another 5 years.
It's not necessarily 5 years, but you know, that's one of the things that your mom, you know, my wife, she always, she's very, you know, God really deals with her. And I would consider her, she has great vision. But the one thing, and she'll tell you, is that the problem with the vision is like, the timing is always off. The stuff comes to pass, it happens, but the timing is always off. And that's one thing that she's learned over the years, is just like, okay, God, you showed me this, but it doesn't mean that it's going to happen tomorrow. It could, and sometimes it does. But at the same time, that expectations versus reality, that's the thing that gets a lot of people. So it's one of the things too is, as we're waiting, because as you mentioned, that struggle and waiting, as we have to learn to wait. But as we're waiting, we got to make sure that we don't develop any sort of bitterness in the waiting. So I know you got some examples there.
I have been there. One specific example. Okay, so I was so pumped to go to the World Cup in Rio.
Yeah, that's right.
2016.
That's right.
I had everything planned, and it turns out when the World Cup was happening, I actually ended up in the hospital.
Yes.
Back at home.
Yes.
And I was so distraught. I was supposed to be in the stands cheering for my favorite team, but I was in a hospital bed. But it turns out a year later, and this, God works in mysterious ways.
Yes.
I still don't know how this came about, but it came about. A year later, I graduated from undergrad in college, and my advisor told me that I needed a few credits because I missed a few credits. So he suggested that I take a film study class, which was traveling to Rio de Janeiro. So I got to live in Rio for an entire 3 months. I went there the entire summer. I got film study credits. I worked on documentaries. I sharpened my my photography skills, my graphic design skills, and I literally lived like a Brazilian local, to the point where they considered me an honorary Brazilian local. And then I came home and I was telling my dad and my mom, and I was like, I literally just lived my dream, because Rio was like my dream destination. And I was like, I literally just lived my dream in Rio, and I couldn't do this last year. And they were like, well, look at how God works.
That's right. Now, also too, what you didn't mention. Remember when you ended up in the hospital, right? You ended up in the hospital, and you were like back and forth in the hospital. Yeah. So as a result, we were like, all right, look, looks like you're gonna have to take a gap year. And you were bummed about that, because you were just like, well, if I take a gap year, I can't graduate with the people that I started out with. Oh my goodness, I mean, things are falling apart. I can't take a gap year. And we was like, nah, you're gonna take a gap year, because we have to make sure that you're well before you go back. So you took that gap year. But here's the other thing you didn't mention. That program, that film study program, did not exist.
That's very true. Had
you graduated with the class that you were supposed to graduate with.
That's very true.
That film study program came to be in the same year.
That is very true.
When you had to make up additional credits after you graduated, and you needed those additional credits to complete your graduation requirements, and your professor came to you and said, hey, we got this new program.
That is very true.
He didn't know that Rio was your dream destination to go to. He didn't know that you were in the international soccer and Brazil was one of your favorite teams. He didn't know that. So
look at God.
so my point is, learning to wait without bitterness, the blessings that come as a result of it. Yeah. So, but that's all of us though, all of us. I mean, I don't care how old you are. It's like we all want it now, but we all gotta wait. Yeah. And we gotta wait on God's timing. And the other thing too is, whatever God has put, we all have a purpose and plan for our lives, as you know. We have these conversations all the time. And because of that, God has a process for how things in our life will play out. And the one thing we have to do, we have to trust that process without pretending like it's going to be easy. Sometimes we hear things and, people say, oh, manifest this and manifest that. And just like, okay, that sounds good. But here's the problem. We can manifest whatever we want to manifest, but that doesn't mean that there's not struggle that comes along with it. And then the things that we say we want, as you notice, you have to put in work. You got to discipline yourself. You got to work on yourself so that when the blessing comes, you're in a position to receive it. It's one thing to manifest something, and this is something new in your life, but you're not even in a position to receive it. So sometimes that waiting process and being able to trust the process that God has your life, it's hard because we as humans, we want to control it all. We want to control everything. So
it's very hard. My will versus God's will.
yes.
I always struggle because I'm like, I want this now. I want this way. I want this, this A, B, C, D, E. But God's like, no, you get this way. Z, Y, X.
That's right.
So it's like, okay, if let's say I want a dog, right? And I do want a dog. I do want a dog. I have not got my dog.
But you travel too much. I mean, you travel too much. You want me to walk the dog in the freezer? It's snow on the ground now. You want me to walk the dog?
So I have to really take into consideration that I am a world traveler and I love to travel. That is never going to change. So I don't actually know if the dog will be feasible. Right now. I will still get my dog. I'm still getting my dog. But I just don't know if that's going to be feasible right now. Even though I really do want a dog, but I'm like, okay, where am I going to store the dog? How am I going to walk the dog? How am I going to pay to feed the dog? How am I going to... And then I just want to travel.
No, I mean, that's it's just, again, back to that, just trusting the process. Whatever God has for us, that is what we want to focus on more than anything. And I was in something you just said about not your way but God's way. The other day, I think it's about a week ago, I was praying. I was up early one morning, I was praying, and then I came and saw your mother, and I was like, I got this thing as I was praying. She was like, what? I said, one thing God dropped in my spirit is just like, it's not my way, but it's Yah's way. And I was like, whoa, Yahweh. I never thought of that. I was like, not my way, but Yah's way. And I was like, woo, wow. I was like, thank you, Lord, for that one. I was like, I love that. So I try to keep that in the back of my mind. It's just, life has its challenges, and, we want to, try to weather these storms as much as possible, as best as possible. I'll say that. And, but also remember that even our setbacks, even our failures, and that's the other thing too, that's a part of the process as well. We're going to have setbacks. We're going to have failures. We're going to have relationships that go well. We're going to have relationships that don't go well. But that's a part of the process. And hopefully, we can learn and we can make great sometimes better decisions. And sometimes life just be lifing, as they say. So, what do you do with that? There's no perfect formula for anything, but, we just want to be the best version of ourselves that we actually can be.
There is no success without failure.
That's right.
I found that out a long time ago. There is no success without failure. And you are going to fail way more than you succeed.
That's right.
In the failures, that's where you learn.
Oh my goodness. You just said a mouthful, because you're right. So many times I think we've been culturally conditioned to believe that if you fail, that's the worst thing in the world. People are going to talk about you. People are so afraid to try different things simply because it's the what if I fail? But what if I succeed? But if you fail, I've been blessed enough to have some success in life. I've had some good success. But I can tell you one thing. I rarely remember the successes that I've had in life. I just look at them as like, that's how it was, just another day. That's how it turned out. That's how it was supposed to be. But what I do remember are my failures. My failures have helped me develop blind spots. And those blind spots help guide me, because I know what not to do next time. I'm faced with a situation. So people run the other way from failures, but like you said, I mean, it's a necessary, I don't want to call it an evil, because it's not evil. It's something there to teach us along the way.
It's a necessary step in the process.
Exactly. No, that's good.
See, I can be deep when I want to be deep.
You know, I enjoy these conversations that we have. I mean, we just talk about random things, as you know, and it's just, I get so much joy out of it. We've had, I don't know, thousands of conversations, you know, since you were little, and we just talk, you know, just talk. And I'm appreciative and I'm grateful. Here you are, 31-year-old woman. You just happen to be a business partner of mine. So I'm grateful for that too. So you're a smart woman. So I'm just grateful that, and I can say this, y'all. I ain't gonna say this. I'll say this to you, but I'm gonna say this to the audience. She still want to hang out with me.
Yeah.
She still want to hang out with me. And I appreciate that. I am so grateful for that.
Now, I do need to find a new roller coaster buddy because he's getting a little too old.
Oh, whatever.
So,
Whatever. I still.
He don't want to do it no more. It's okay.
Come on. It's just.
It's okay.
It's just like you get shaken up enough. It's just like, okay, been there, done that. I don't have a t-shirt, but I probably should have one, you know, but it's just, you know, I don't enjoy it as much as I used to. When of course, when you were younger, that was your thing, and that's what you really like to do, and just like, hey, I gotta be there. So, but yeah, you might have to get a new buddy. But until you do, I'll be there. How about that?
No, you won't.
I will. Until you do, I'll be there.
Were you on Tower of Terror?
You didn't do Tower of Terror. What are you
I
talking
did Tower
about?
of Terror 3 times.
Well, I've done it more than you.
Well, you were alive longer than me.
Okay. Good point. But I'm just saying, nah. So it's until you get another partner, I'll be there right with you. Yeah. So listen. So I know we're gonna try to do this. You know, these conversations. We have these conversations off camera. But as my wife and my sister said to me, said, why don't you turn the camera on and just talk like you normally do? And like I said, as I thought about it, I was like, oh, it might be a good idea. I don't know. You know, maybe we can help somebody along the way. I don't know. I hope so. Hope we can add value. We're taking up your time. So, but I do know one of the things that we were talking about, because we're going to do it again. We're not exactly sure what, next week or
we'll see.
Later in the week, we'll see.
We'll see.
But
I do want to talk about our next topic. What healthy relationships actually feel like. I have a lot to say on that, but you'll have to wait until the next episode.
Okay. I got a lot to say on that too.
I don't want this
I got a lot to
be
say.
Too long.
I have a lot to say on that one as well, and I look forward to that one. That'll be good. That'll be a good one. And then that's the relationship thing. Yeah, that's as a father talking to his daughter. Oh, I got a lot to say. I'm not gonna tell you some of the things I used to say to her when she was younger and stuff. So I ain't gonna tell you that. You ain't gonna say that either. So but I'm just saying, I got a lot to say on that one. So, but anyway, but we appreciate your time. We just want to have this conversation, and we'll keep everybody posted. Yeah. And we'll take it from there. Yeah. Hey, thanks everybody. Thank you, Ashley. And I'm still your roller coaster buddy.
You still my roller coaster buddy?
I'm still your roller coaster buddy until you find a new one. That's right. Got you, girl. Got you.